There you go. Right. Hey, Paul, how are you? Hello. Look at you all, Commander-in-Chief. Ready for
Wait there, I'll show you the bunker.
Oh, wow. Where are you? Oh, my God, this is amazing. I wasn't expecting this. Are you living here now?
Yeah, this is where I live. I don't live on the balcony, of course. I've got a building behind me that I reside in.
It's like your new sort of little hub, you know, on the balcony. Just
this is where all the operations are. Yeah.
That's a really good backdrop.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, so it's very private, beautiful part of Cheshire. I'm very blessed to be where I am. So yeah, it's nice. This is where I wanted to come outside because I just need some fresh air. Wrapped up, cold. But yeah, this is it. This is the den. This is my man cave.
Your man cave. Well, yeah, being stuck inside, so it's nice, and with this lockdown and everything. But I used to live in Manchester for 4 years. I was at uni there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, A-Town.
Beautiful place.
Yeah,
I love Manchester.
I haven't been for a while. But anyway, thank you for coming on today. I really, really appreciate it. And one of the main reasons, Paul, that I asked you and wanted you to come on my show and let everyone know the wonderful work that you've been doing, and we'll show your videos a bit later. But what you've done with the Rise Up protests in Manchester, and I say this sounding like some kind of fan of yours, but there's just a lot of respect during these times. You'll be remembered in history for actually taking action to the tyranny that we're all facing with our government. And because I've been so encompassed with what's going on in the elections in America, I might appear that I don't really care what's going on here, but it's your posts that I follow, or did follow, before you went into Facebook jail.
10 hours left.
Oh, have you?
10 hours left of my 30-day ban.
Amazing, amazing. 30 days. I started getting in, like, you know, hissy fit when it was 3 days. But actually, I thought it was 30 days. And I was like panicking, thinking, no, not now. But yeah, and you've done remarkable stuff. So a big thank you on behalf of this whole country, even if half the people are asleep. But one day they will be. Thanking you, Paul. And I want to hear, I want to hear more about it from you. I mean, you know, how it all started, and, you know, take it away.
Okay. Well, firstly, thank you for showing your appreciation and stuff. What I will say is that, and I don't say this to try and like make it sound, well, I know I am going to make it sound biblical, but it really is just the start, because I'm sure you'll be aware of this, and many people that are much further along in being woke and all those expressions. It really is just the start. And I know America have got a lot going on, and they're kind of coming to a tipping point. And even then, it'll be the start.
Oh, I'm losing you. Oh, I'm losing you, Paul.
Well, but half revolution yet in the UK. Oh, you got me?
Yeah, no, I lost you there. Sorry. We go. Hold on.
Happy days.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll break up again.
We're back again.
Okay, so yes. So first, what I will say is, to a lot of the people that are part of the awakening, but in specifically the North, myself and many others have kind of become the representatives to a degree of the North. We are those first movements that you've seen take place, where thousands gathered together. It was great from a perspective. Yeah, it was brilliant. It was personally, some of the things that I took from it that were massive positives were I received afterwards.
So here we are. We're back again.
1 second.
Okay, we're back on track.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, just sort of again there really, because we were losing you before when you were outside. But yeah, this whole protest, everything that you've been doing, yeah, take it away.
Okay. Again, thanks for the kind words. First and foremost, what I will say is about the movement, and it was most definitely one of the many reasons I wanted to start it, was to bring people together, because like yourself, I was very outspoken in my views, in spreading an awareness to everything that's going on, all the darkness and everything else, giving my own views, which sometimes not everyone agrees with, but it did seem to bring a lot of people together. Yeah. And so, yeah, so I don't want to get too caught up in celebrating too much too soon, because this is far from over, especially in the UK. I know America has gone through a lot, and they will soon, in the next few months, be coming out of that, and you know that they'll start the rebuild and everything. That's still firmly my belief that it's going to take place this year. But the UK has its own massive uprise and revolution to experience just yet. So it was great in terms of, we brought people together. There was lots of lovely messages I received of people saying it gave them hope. Lots of them have made new friends at these rallies, and the circles of the networks of the people like yourself and myself have been bringing together, that felt very much isolated within their own families and their friends and their peer groups at work and such like. So it's given hope, and I know people will be like, you know, people are like very cynical and such like, but it really has given a lot of people hope and something to hang on to and to be a part of something. So that's, from a heartwarming perspective, that's been one of the nicest, greatest things to see from all this, and the Manchester Rise Up and all the other movements that have brought people together. But I say this because for one, I hope it excites people, but also a word of caution that this is very real, and that there's an evil plan at play that I know a lot of people are aware of. So when we start going through our own revolution very, very soon, so the next march that's organised, gathering that's organised, is going to be at a time now where things are moving into dangerous times, because things are being stepped up in the UK. Things are being stepped up. The totalitarianism is very much now taking hold, and people are seeing this. There are people being arrested in their own homes in front of their children, being wrestled to the ground, parents being wrestled to the ground over the video I've seen the other day of £100 fine. You've seen in Europe people being arrested for expressing views on social media channels. So in November kind of time into December, when we first started Manchester and the gatherings and all the many others, it kind of had it was a nice feel to it. It was great that we brought lots of people together. We were standing there in our truth, expressing the message, showing that we will not stand, we will stand together against this dictatorship. But it's going to start moving into very, very dangerous times soon. So I say that just so people are aware, but also they should be excited, because again, I've said it umpteen times, every time a lockdown's been imposed, or harsher measures on strangling our economy, for me, not to be celebrated that people are losing their livelihoods or losing loved ones and all that. Of course, I empathise, and everyone suffered, including myself. But had this not take place, the uprise wouldn't be begun, wouldn't have happened. It wouldn't have took shape. So
yeah,
we've got to capitalise on it, and we will. And you know, and as I have done and will do, I'll be putting myself forward. And I have been waiting. I keep saying, because people keep saying, when's the next match? When's the next match? We've got to do this, got to do that. Timing is everything, and I just feel like, and that's my decision to make, I just feel like it's not been the right time just yet to strike again. It is going to be very soon, because now so many more people are waking up. And I think, you know, the evidence to that is they did the clapping for the NHS thing again. Nobody was clapping. I didn't hear anybody clapping.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any videos being expressed. In fact, to the contrary, many people slating it. And this isn't them slating nurses.
No.
Of course not. This is slating the propaganda. This is slating the lie. This is slating the media. It's slating that. So it's good. People are waking up. So there's a lot of positives. I know it all seems very doom and gloom at the moment, especially with what's transpiring in America. Not for me, because I trust things will work out exactly as they're meant to. But people are perceiving reality now as a lot of doom and gloom, and I'm not. I'm really not. I'm excited for the future of this year, because for this year in particular, because an uprising is about to begin, and it needed to, and it needs, and I am very much putting myself forward to be a new representative leader, whether that takes the shape in becoming the mayor of Manchester, a politician of some kind. I don't know. It'll happen. That will manifest and materialize as I'm walking this path. And I know there'll be many others that do the same. And without a revolution, without a dismantling of our political system and government, and ousting all those that have literally sold their souls, and it's very easy to know who those politicians are. You only have to look at all those that have supported the lockdowns, because these are what people need to understand is these are intelligent people. They might be self-serving, bought out, a lot of them, and career politicians, which the vast majority of them are, unfortunately, but there are still also some good politicians. But it's very simply put, they know the data. They're not stupid. They know what's going on. They know the data. They know this is lie after lie after lie, propaganda, and they have still signed to support a lockdown, which to me shows whatever it is, whether it's because the career politicians, they're in some way, shape or form getting a backhander, or their chums are receiving lots of money through providing whatever it is, that the tests, the track and trace systems, whatever. There are people that are lining their pockets right now in Parliament whilst pretending to care about the people they're meant to represent, whilst pretending this is for the greater good of the nation. And these people, when they signed that to support the second lockdown in particular, over 300 of them, I think there was only 16 that opposed it, 16. That gave you a real insight to how corrupted and how these supposed selected representatives don't actually represent the people, because they're intelligent enough to know that the data doesn't support what is going on right now. So they've made a decision based upon self-serving decisions. So these people need to be removed and they need to be overthrown. And that isn't going to be a quick process. That's going to be a lengthy process. And while that awareness to those individuals has been brought about, which it has now, and even in the celebrity world, certainly in Hollywood, but now in the UK, with all your celebrities that are really condemning anti-vaxxers and those exactly. They're showing themselves. So it's the age of enlightenment we're moving into. And the age of enlightenment, although everyone loves to focus on the beautiful part of an enlightenment where we move to this world where suffering is not quite as
we're a long way from that. We're a long way away from that.
Exactly.
The reality is, we have to put everything in perspective. But two things for me are really important, Paul: the intention and the perception and perspective that we hold on this narrative. The script is far from over. It's only just begun. And you're right. Here in the UK, we've moved into tier 5. People are still scared. You say that. Very quick question just about the protests. I mean, when I was watching the video, which we're going to watch in a second, I say this very respectfully. Did you see many Asian people protesting?
Yeah, quite a few, to be honest.
Was there?
Yeah.
There was quite a few people.
Yeah. I say quite a few. Put a number on that. I couldn't possibly, but yeah, there's quite a few, to be honest.
They were just standing up, rising up, because for myself personally, I've had a lot of slack from my own community about speaking about this, and I'm fine with it because, and I still, I show love and compassion because of the ignorance and just how brainwashed everyone is. There is still a lot of people that are living in fear, especially with this second strain coming out, and then this lockdown. It's put people into some sort of tears, and even the most academic and educated people are like, saying to me, Alpa, when are you going to stop making a fool of yourself with everything that you're fighting for? And that kind of infuriates me internally, because I think, well, like, seriously, why am I doing, what are we doing this for? The deeper rooted issues that what you and I know are very severe, and whether we do protests, lockdowns, we need to see some movement within our governments. Now the governments themselves are corrupt, and this is what people are finding difficult to believe. But yes, there is a growing number of people every single day that are waking up and thinking something doesn't add up. So when you piece together this big jigsaw puzzle that hasn't made sense, you go away and do some research, and you do some proper research, and not just follow the mainstream media. You're going to actually start having some kind of spiritual awakening as well as factual awakening. The issue is people are so indoctrinated and brainwashed into believing one establishment, be it the BBC, Sky News, ITN, Guardian, Financial Times, whatever the echelon of these titles that have managed to successfully get into the mindsets of these pseudo-academic intellectuals, and instill fear porn in the people that are none the wiser, because they just sit and watch BBC all day, and then they trust. There's that element of trust, and these are goodly, godly people, and they're scared, right? So right now, with the uncertainty and the inaccuracies that the media is also saying within the stats of this boogeyman virus, we need to start looking at that. We need to just start questioning, well, this doesn't add up, this doesn't add up, the inaccuracies of what the media is saying. And a year almost in, it is time for a revolution. We as mankind haven't been through this ever in our lifetime. So this is only the start. This is just the start. Last year was just preparatory, so us to kind of get the background information for the likes of yourself, myself, who was totally asleep, not asleep spiritually, just asleep to what happened within the governments and politics. I've never considered myself politically astute. I have no interest in it. I always smelt a rat in most things. So I just sort of removed myself from mainstream media, and everything to do with politics, I just focused on self and my inner journey. So I guess it was like preparatory for me to be able to then stand up like yourself in this moment in time, where we're like almost feeling like, oh my God, this is actually a purposeful mission that we have to do this. So with the lockdowns, like, I think if you're going to do another protest soon, and you're right, the timing's not right, because we just don't know how this is playing out in the US now. The research that you and I have done, we know everything that's going on there is pivotal and instrumental to how everything unfolds globally.
Massive.
It's so instrumental how everything unfolds. So while my focus has been on the US, I have missed stuff out with what's going on here at grassroots. And the reality is, Paul, you mentioned something about people coming into houses and doing all sorts of crazy things like this. I personally know a friend who was telling me about people snitching on each other for not wearing masks, and it led to something horrible. Basically, a lady went over across the road to have tea with a neighbor. This other neighbor snitched her up. The police came, fined her £300. She goes back to her husband, absolutely petrified, because as it is, financial situations are not great, and her husband's an Uber driver. And he said he got so mad and enraged with her alleged stupidity, he just whacked her one, and she fell and died.
Wow.
Right. So I'm saying this not to be morbid, guys, or anything like that, but it's a true testament of what did you gain from one, snitching her up, and she's a mother of 3 children, all under the age of 5 years old. And this tyranny, this totalitarian state that we are kind of moving into, have been really. I mean, there is no science that backs wearing a mask. And when you actually watch the videos of how they're made, with people using their feet in a little grime place in India, just for, you know, putting all these chemicals on it, and they're ingesting it, further depleting their immune system.
Yeah.
We are complying and acquiescing. Yeah. And, you know, everything that we have been told is a lie, Paul. Absolute lie. Yeah. So, you know, the movement that you've done is huge. And I say this because, like yourself, it's to just wake people up. There is no agenda to be, you know, working for the applause. We're working for the cause, because actually this is big stuff. This is not some political debate. You know, before it was Brexit. I was just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Actually, now when you see how deeply rooted this is, and essentially fundamentally concerns itself with the worst atrocities that have happened to children, we are sort of like, from, I don't know where this energy I get, you know, and you've got, it just sort of, you standing up in the right moment.
I agree with what you were saying in terms of waking people up, and that's been an integral part of raising consciousness. And I always I have to add a bit of a caveat to the consciousness thing. Basically, when consciousness rises, awareness, there are many things that take place and transpire, but awareness rises. So awareness to the darkness that's being perpetrated upon them. So that's what I'm more interested in when I'm speaking about it anyway, from a consciousness perspective. And so the rallies and my videos, your videos, and everybody else have been putting out great content to wake people up, planting the seeds, because then weeks, months down the line, they'll wake up. So that's that's a key element. But for me, moving forward into this new year now, I've come to the conclusion that if those individuals now, with all the data, all the testimonies, with groups of scientists and doctors coming together to basically say the whole thing is just a massive lie, and even there are debates whether the virus is real or not. I'm not really that interested in that. What we do know is, for those that are willing to accept the truth, is this is a play. This is a play for total control, to depopulation. Whether people believe that or not, it is a depopulation program. This is eugenicists' dream. Everything from taking us away from being able to control our own finances. Those that are awake know everything that I'm talking about, so I don't even need to speak about that anymore. And those that are not, simply now, for whatever reason that is ignoring the truth, because they're scared of the truth, because they might have to, because this will be one of the key components in all this. And I've been aware of all this stuff for a very, 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 very long time, well over a decade. And I knew this time would come, not in the way that it's transpired. I weren't to know, but I just knew the time was coming. I'm very well read on prophecies. I'm a spiritual man. I'm not religious in the sense, but I know where the truth is hidden within all religions. And so it's been exposing what's to come and all this kind of stuff. So I know we're going to move into these prophetic times, a new age, an uprise, a new world. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, from my own personal perspective, it doesn't come without a great fight, an uprise, a standing against evil. And we haven't endured it yet. That's coming. So for all those now that are still asleep, for whatever reason it is, ego, fear.
That's what it is, Paul. It's ego. And incidentally, sorry to just interject.
It's okay.
But ego is something that this is spiritually and sort of metaphorically. Now we are seeing the death of ego on planet Earth, and it's just slowly starting now, because at this conversation I had with a friend just today, that was the sort of underpinning of our conversation, that and a sense of stubbornness and an unwillingness to actually listen to what I was saying, because there was a hell-bent like I know better kind of feeling, that because I read the Financial Times and I read like the Guardian and I read this, and this is this trouble that I have with the people that I know. They just, and they're really, really successful people. Like they've done incredibly well in their lives, and, you know, financially done really, really well, but the spiritual compass is missing. And this is what's happened. This is what's happened throughout time, subliminally over the years, you know, over hundreds of years. They've attacked our consciousness. They've tried to spiritually deplete us in every single way, and create this bot-like community where you actually think that you're living, but you're not. If that makes sense. So it's been an attack on our consciousness. And the conversation was just like, when are you going to give up now? Trump is just making a complete tit of it stuff. And I'm saying, who is telling you this? Who is telling you this? And showing me articles from the Financial Times. Yeah. And suddenly I realized within myself that actually, Alpa, like, why are you even bothering? And I started getting, you know, a little bit agitated. And then I thought, no, this is not for me to do this. I've planted the seeds. I am confident that there will be revelations very soon. In what capacity, we're none the wiser, but we must employ that certainty and that faith, because good has to win over the evil. That is what I have faith in. I have faith in good. I have faith in God. And, you know, I don't, like yourself, consider myself to be religious at all. Spirituality is something that, you know, I align with, and I believe there's a higher power to all of us. And it's, you know, we are on an internal journey. We need to go inside to really be able to see and feel and perceive what's going on within different dimensions. And I know you are very well versed on all of this. So therefore, your lenses are going to be very different. And we are put in situations where we're in secular communities where we're literally the ones that stand out from our families or our friends. And when I say stand out, not in an arrogant way, are different, are the misfits or the black sheep of the family, various labels, whichever way you want to interpret it. But there was a reason. And I truly now feel that it's aligning me to, it's all aligned me to this time.
Yeah, 100%. And a little caveat to what you said about the academics, the intellects. Most people would just say they're the ones that are the most conditioned, mainstream wise, and they don't like to hear that, of course. Who would want to be told you're programmed? Yeah, you're programmed. You're so well indoctrinated and programmed. The things I'm saying to you just can't penetrate that wall. You're so well programmed. So I to a degree, I don't even bother so much with those individuals. And although now and then I've had a little back and forth with some individuals that are completely brainwashed. If they insult me or something, I'll have a little bit of a back and forth, just purely for fun. I don't do it as much these days, but purely for fun. But the other ones that are, I find it mad. And I always use this comparison. I would not walk into a hairdressing salon and just start walking around, and to all these people that are stylists and the top of their game start going, no, I wouldn't use that colour, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that, I wouldn't do that. What the fuck do I know about any of that? I have no experience whatsoever, no training in it, no experience, and I've not spent any time in that world. Now, when people are boo-hooing the spiritual world, whether it's Reiki healers, people that want to work with crystals, people that work with ley lines, people that work with whatever, that they have zero awareness of, for them to go and boo-hoo it with zero, literally never picked up a book, never had a spiritual moment, never been on any kind of spiritual journey, whether that was a near-death experience, ayahuasca, or taking shrooms, or anything that expands the mind, or whatever, to have such formed opinions where to them it's such a matter of fact, it's bullshit.
Facts, source.
It's like, what, you know what I mean? Anyway, so I don't even bother with those people. That's the height of ignorance. Yeah. And it's a real sort of...
It's very telling of how programmed they are and indoctrinated. Very telling.
You know, it shows the lack of intelligence. It really shows the lack of intelligence. And I believe there'll be a time where intelligence is redefined, because at the moment, intelligence is rewarded by people that can just repeat information that they've been told to retain within their brain, to then go and repeat it in a standardized test, and then repeat it in some form of work, whatever that is, a lawyer, solicitor, doctor, whatever. And these people now are considered the ones that if they speak, their words and insights are to be held in the highest of regards. And those other ones that speak from a world that's not mainstream are crackpots and such like. That will massively flipped around. So in this, 100%. So in this new world that is very much upon us, in this grand awakening, whatever you want to call it, it's all true. The age of Aquarius we're moving into, biblical time, prophecy, Armageddon, all true, all the same thing. It's all taking place. And during this time, when this veil is lifted, those that have been living in ignorance whilst thinking, because they have certain initials that they've been given after their name, MBEs, OBEs, and all of the university letters that you can throw after your name, thinking that's some kind of holds you on a pedestal to be able to dissect, because the only thing that they have any real value to a degree is on the physical world and in their world, whatever that mainstream is. What you often find is these spiritual people are very well traveled in many areas. So personally, ex-military of over a decade, then a hypnotherapist. So I've been mainstream, but also the spiritual world. And so how can any of these individuals, first of all, I can hold my own with any of these supposed intellects, but when I'm having a conversation with them in a field that they have absolutely zero experience, to downplay it, it's just pure ignorance. So for a large part of the people that are asleep, ego and all those things are involved, but it's massive ignorance as well, massive ignorance. And they're going to be in for a big shock soon. And I'm very excited for when that day comes. And it's soon coming.
I cannot wait. And just a little bit, just sort of what you said there about these accreditations that they have behind their names. Look, I've gone through the academic route. I had good grades at GCSE, then I did my A-levels, but I never studied at all for anything. I couldn't focus, and I wasn't aligned to it. I would just get extreme anxiety every time I would sit an exam. So I don't know how I got what I got, the grades and stuff. So then I went through university and I did relatively okay in that as well. But one of the things that I remembered, that how they indoctrinated you, and this is where I never used to pay attention, so this is where I always used to get bad grades, but it's citing and referencing. So any kind of personal opinion would just not be merited. So you're led to believe that you can have your own opinions, but if you're not citing things from other references. So I studied international business at Manchester, and I did well in my dissertation because I had to do a lot of referencing. So subliminally, what that is doing to people in the academics is just preparing you all the time to just be programmed 21 days. It's like a muscle. The brain's a muscle. You know that, you're in fitness and stuff, and the brain also is like a muscle where, you know, the 21-day rule, you repeat something for 21 days as a hypnosis as well. You know the techniques and subliminal techniques that are used from every single system. That's the media, the academic institutions. Every system is infiltrated with these techniques. That's subliminally programming you in everything that you're doing. I mean, just look at the nonsense that we saw with the toilet paper. It just was an immediate reaction that the media tell you there's going to be a shortage of toilet paper. Everyone, even the most educated, behave like orangutans. I mean, this is so apparent and obvious. And having gone through that route myself, I can see where and how they've done it. Now, if you don't have that spiritual compass, and I grew up in a family that was religious in the sense is that they had all these folk songs going on in the background, and it wasn't ever imposed on me or anything very strict that this is the way. And my parents were very, very relaxed. So in a way, I was led to sort of find my own way, which I really appreciate. And I'm very grateful that nothing was imposed onto me. Like I had to learn myself. And whatever they tried to teach me, they would say, there would be like, because I told you so, because that's what I was told. So knowing that I would never like, you know, ascribe to any of that, and they just let me kind of find my own way. And that's the thing, you know, we have that ability within us, that sixth sense. We only are using our five senses, but the sixth sense is really the brain. The second brain is our gut. And intuitively, you know, we always say, oh, I've got a gut feeling about that. We all have that power. We all do. So something isn't sitting well. And yes, these people, I can't wait, because I get into these conversations and you're like, okay, let this just play out, because we do need to see stuff like publicly, because people who haven't done the work, it's just not going to make sense with what happened on the 6th. I mean, I'm sat there deciphering. I mean, it's just chess move after chess move after chess move. I think, oh my God, the brilliance of this. It's a military operation, and the brilliance and the mastermind behind this. It's not been just planned like every week, you know, where they have weekly meetings and they think, right,
years ahead.
Over 20 years. And we need to wrap our head around that. The sheer genius behind this. Oh my God, Alpa, QAnon, just dangerous. Who's told you that? The media. The media is doing this. So there's just, it's relevant at the moment, but here in the UK, what are your thoughts about how this is going to unfold? Do you think we're really going to be stuck in this lockdown till March? Because those are the murmurs going on at the moment. I mean, I know it's till the 15th, but...
Oh, 100% until March, most definitely.
Paul, this is the bit I was waiting for from you. I was just like, you're going to give me some...
Hey, listen, I hope I'm wrong. Well, yeah, I hope I'm wrong, because we're still going to have a revolution anyway. But...
Yes, I know.
Here's a very, very brief outline of how I see things playing out. As you know, the 20th of January is pivotal. It's a pivotal moment. I am still not even wavering in Trump being inaugurated. Not wavering. I still believe, even if it was a fleeting moment of Biden being in power, that for me would be a play by them. Not because they've lost, you know, they've lost some ground and now they're gonna have to think of a different way. If Biden is inaugurated, it will be because they've chosen for that to take place and there'll be a plan to it. I don't think it'll get to that though, and I really hope it doesn't, because a lot of people will lose their minds and lose hope, as a lot of people are right now.
Yeah, honestly, I've bet, like with this person that I'm speaking to, he said, I bet you £100. I said, make that 1,000. He goes, all right. And then I said, no, let's make it 2,000. And he goes, all right then, let's just make it 5 while we're at it. I said, make it 10.
No.
But the thing is, and this is how, like yourself, when you're saying I have unwavering sort of confidence. And the good thing is that the money goes either which way. If I win or he wins, it goes to this charity this school that I'm building in India for Down syndrome children. So nice. Yeah, so I'm making a start on that moment. Bless them. These are children that get thrown away on the streets by their parents, and because they've got a disability, and it's really sad, Paul, really, really sad when you see that. But these are beautiful kids, and absolutely amazing. And there's 26 of them, so that money will go in good use. So it's a great bet.
Yeah, definitely. So anyway, so the UK. I said it a long time ago in my videos, and I'm still beating the same drum. I know this is going to happen. I genuinely believe, in terms of a revolution, and the country that is going to be strangled the most and face the greatest challenge in terms of a revolution is the UK. And because...
Why is that? Let's talk about that for a couple of minutes. Let's talk about the darkness and the sort of karma that why will it be the UK? There needs to be a little bit of understanding about this from a spiritual context.
From a spiritual perspective, from a spiritual perspective, I'm very, very, very well read in prophecy. And now when I say that, people go, oh, prophecy. A lot of people, especially in this day and age, because we're much more open now in the spiritual world, the more spirituality is becoming more accepted and explored by many people. When I say prophetic times, prophecy, all prophecy really is if you think about it, we've got clairvoyants and mediums around the world, right? And many people have been and seeked mediums and seers, oracles, all this kind of stuff. These special beings with this extra sensory perception have been around for a very long time. And many leaders have used them. There'll have been no pharaoh that didn't have a group of high priests. There'll have been no Roman emperor that didn't have their oracle. There'll have been no, even that there are records of prime ministers, presidents, all the presidents of the time would go and see Edgar Casey. And so these people have been sought after for their wisdom, because these people in the know of high powers of position have known the importance and how significant getting those spiritual insights can be. So in modern day times, people can go and pay 30, 40, 50 quid to go and have a reading. They're basically being told something of a potential future timeline. They're tapping into many things, but there's one thing called the Akashic Records. I'm sure you'll be aware of this.
Yeah,
so they tap into this Akashic Records. It's a gift that they've got now. For anyone that's been to see a clairvoyant and it was a load of rubbish, there are charlatans out there, of course, but there are many people, I've met many people that have had a reading of sorts and gone, I can't believe how accurate it was, and da-da-da-da. Now, these same readers, tarot readers, crystal readers, all these kind of people that have the different means of communication by tapping into a higher source, they exist today as they have done since the beginning of time. Now, the things that we're seeing play out, whether it's Mayan prophecy, whether it's biblical prophecy or Dead Sea Scrolls prophecy, there's lots of prophecies within many scriptures, and I've read loads of them, and they're all pointing to this time right now, And in my investigations and many things that have been brought to me, whether by, aligned to me by divine intervention or great insights or whatever, I know that a lot of the biblical prophecies where they refer to the 12 tribes, the end of days and all that kind of stuff is speaking very specifically, initially America, in the terms of the Great Uprising, the Phoenix Rising and all this kind of stuff. Yep. Whereas America, bring it all up, but where the true battle is going to be defeated between good and evil is in Britain. Brilliant. Is in Britain. And that's the spiritual side. I'm piecing something together that I will not release until I feel it's safe to do so. And when I do, it will highlight everything that we'll have been through. This was seen a long time ago, and these are the lands that it's going to take place. And that's the spiritual side. From the geopolitical side and everything else, the politics, our government is just unbelievably corrupted. And the problem we've got here, unlike America, is we have a centralized power that is corrupted. One centralized power. And when all the power is condensed into one place and it becomes corrupted, you've got real trouble on your hands, because in America, it's different. States are corrupted. So they've been able to, although it may seem in the mainstream, evil is going to win and it's going to play out in evil's hands and the Democrats are going to get what they've pushed for, they are not. No. But because they have so many states that wasn't as corrupted as the other democratic states, that's why things were able to be shifted much quicker. That's why a plan was able to be manifested and carried out the way it's been able to in America. The problem we've got is it's going to be literally two energies: the people and the centralized totalitarian government. Yep. And that's it. There are no states. There is no Donald Trump here. There's nothing like that. Donald Trump is going to play a huge part in the collapsing of our government, no doubt about it, because all the information that's going to be soon exposed about our own politicians, and this will happen in all the countries, Italy, France, Australia, here, all those politicians are going to soon start to be exposed. And then that's when we rise and literally need to overthrow government and remove these politicians. That's what needs to take place, and that isn't going to be easy. So that's going to be a lengthy process. So that's why every time not every time, but in many of my videos, I keep saying, if you feel within you, there's something within you, you feel like, I want to stand for my little village, my town, my city, start thinking about it now. Start planning for that now, because when this is all exposed and an uprise begins in this country, and it will, and the vast majority wake up and get on board, because they know this isn't ending until all their freedoms have been totally taken away from them, until they're in a Nazi occupied country, which is what this is leading towards. When everybody rises, government will be overthrown, and all those individuals, including myself, are going to have to put themselves forward, because, and this is the question I often get asked, why do I want to go into politics? It's corrupted, and then it's led some people to say you control the opposition. Mental, but whatever.
You are.
Yeah, I had a guy.
Really?
I had a guy follow me after my last...
Paul, you've got to put that in perspective, that, you know, they think you're that connected, like, to the corruption. I mean, it's just like, really, controlled opposition.
I know. Well, to be fair, not many people have said it. This one individual who started shouting out in the rally, who was trying to cause hate, trying to cause some hate. And I get it. You could see this guy is frustrated and angry, and he's actually on the side of wanting to expose the truth. So to a degree, I felt for him, but fighting hate with hate isn't going to get us anywhere. We need to be organised. Yes. We need to move forward.
Very, very important point. That's
of course.
Yeah. You can't fight hate with hate.
You can't fight hate with hate, because then we just lower ourselves to them, and then nothing will change. So, and when I say we've got to do this in love, we do this in love. Isn't airy fairy and wishy washy. Love, my love for humanity, and when I see these videos of old people in nursing homes not being able to see the families and that, it fucking tears me up inside. So my love for these people and my love for everything that I'm seeing take place means I want to put myself forward, very much at the risk of all the ridicule I've been getting, to potentially harming my business, being arrested and put in the cells, as I have been, receiving a 10 grand fine, which I have done, and potentially, as things move forward, I'll be arrested.
The 10 grand fine? Was that when you got arrested?
No, I got arrested because I was in Liverpool. The 10 grand fine was organising a rally, the first one that I did.
Right.
So, and I do all this out of love. So love isn't wishy-washy. We just go around, wearing crystals, just giving people hugs. You can do that if it makes you feel good and it makes that person feel good in that moment. But love means fucking standing up against evil. Love means
the righteous action. It's the righteous action.
You're willing to sacrifice many of your own finances, your own time,
family.
Friendships, family, all those things. Sacrifice all those. That's love. That's power. That's a powerful love. That's standing up and doing things the right way. And I know moving into this year, as I organise and get these rallies together, and they're going to be bigger and more impactful and powerful. The media is going to slate me. The media is going to try and bring me down. They're going to try and pick holes in me. They're going to try and character assassinate me. They will try and impose more fines upon me. They'll lock me up in the cells. And I know all this is coming. I know it's all coming. And I'll take all those slings and arrows because of my love for humanity, because my love for when I see my grandparents aren't with me anymore, but each time I see a video of the elderly being treated the way they are, I see my nana in those people. I see the children I don't have. I see my nieces and nephews in the children that are being abused. I see that in all of them. I don't differentiate between my personal family and the family that's in this country. So that's why I feel so strongly about it. And that's love. That's love in action. That's making shit happen, doing something. So love isn't, when I say don't fight fear with fear and fight evil with love, it means people that have got that compassion in their hearts, that inner calling, that voice that's saying we got to fucking do something, That's love. That's love inside you, speaking to you to do something. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, for no accolades. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not bothered about money or material wealth or popularity. I don't care. In actual fact, for the vast majority of this journey, I've been speaking out against many things for a long time, and the vast majority of the feedback and what I was receiving off people was ridicule and was insults and all those things. And the water off a duck's back to me. They really are. I'm thick-skinned. And now the tables have changed because people are starting to see the world for what it really is. So I'm not doing it for those kind of things, because I was doing this when it was unpopular. I was doing this when people used to call me crazy, and it was interesting, not interesting, but it was kind of a nice moment, kind of, when one of a PT I used to work with years ago sent me a message saying, to be honest, mate, me and a few of us, and I feel bad about this, but I want to tell you, we used to talk behind your back, calling you a crackpot. This is about 6, 7, 8 years ago, when I was speaking about a lot of things going on that's now become out in the open, and we used to slag you off behind your back, and I want to apologise, because in actual fact, everything you've said is true, and I just can't believe it. So I want to apologise, which was very nice of them. They didn't have to do that. But so for anyone that's been saying, oh, attention seeking and all this kind of stuff, again, water off the duck's back. But fucking hell, I've been doing this for a long time. I was doing it when it was very unpopular, and I'm doing it purely because it's my calling. It's my calling. It really is my calling.
You know, this is what I absolutely, truly love about you, Paul. And I think we've had a few chats on the phone, and it was just like an instant recognition of my soul recognizes your soul, as from a form of respect. And that, for me, everything that you said, I was just about to cry there. It's a good
Sorry.
I do cry over everything. I do, just like yourself, love in action. That's what this title of this show is going to be called, because we have to be careful, because everyone's being shut down, and it is, you know, it is what it is. And especially the reason why I wanted you on board, because I wanted, you know, this is for this, that this is righteous action, this is love in action, and this, everything that Paul has said, people watching this, is because we love humanity, we love, you know, the life that we've been blessed with, the people that we've been born into, the families that we sorry, I'm just trying to control myself from not crying.
Take a deep breath.
You know, and yeah, we love all our friends and family and stuff. So everything that we've done, and it hasn't been easy, of course, being ridiculed, being called names. And I think so many people share that same journey, myself included. And I feel bad, because when I asked, like, you know, were there a lot of Asian people at the rally? It's not because I'm dismissing my own people. It's just that when I went to my own people to say, oh my God, this is like this, with the expectation there will be like, oh my God, this is really bad, what's happened to the kids. And it just made so much sense to me. It was almost like a shock to the system, that sort of what you were saying, that wall, which is you get hit and you bounce back off, and you like hit your head and you think, oh my God, like really? And then you carry on trying, you carry on, you get smacked, you get, you know, you're being pushed down. But this is testing our resolve, and life has prepared me for this, you know, that you're saying the 8 years with our sort of trials and tribulations, we have them purposefully to prepare us for this moment in time. And you know, it's that recognition of people on this journey. So there's a familiarity with yourself. We may have a past life connection, who knows, you know, because there's that sense of purpose that I can really smell, and I can really feel it, like, you know, and it's beautiful. The emotions are beautiful. We're taught not to cry. We're taught not to love, because in the sense they've commercialized love. Love isn't coochie coo and let's just do like fluff and pixies and fairies, although I like that, do that with my Kenzo.
Love conquers all, as they say.
But you know, it's the tough love, standing up in your dharma, you know, standing up to call to action, acting upon it. We're so used to accolading people, pretend like through the advent of social media, oh, you know, this is great, but when it comes to the actual crunch and the time to stand up and rise up, the disbursement from people and where they just disappear is very, very telling. Yeah,
I know.
so it's like, you know, because that's what social media came to do. That was the agenda of social media. It came in 2007, subliminally corroding and poisoning the souls of people by making them more miserable, because it was that dependency on instant gratification, and you know, just developing this. I mean, all the other stuff that goes behind social media, but now these platforms should be used for, you know, the right things, but we've made people so used to and accustomed of feeling unworthy about themselves because they need to make a change. They're making a change to their face through aesthetics, through all of this stuff. But the fake placating has to stop now. You have to kind of show up for yourself, and that doesn't mean everyone needs to set up and do protests or do shows.
No, of course not.
You know, doing shows like I'm doing, or you're doing protests, and other people are writing books, etc. But they're showing up for themselves by standing in their light and in their truth. So, you know, I have a lot of people that message me and say, well, what do I do? And I said, well, the fact that you're awake to it, you're doing, you know, you're continue recording. Right. So anyway, this leads me towards the end of our show, because I don't have sufficient space, so I've got like about probably 5 minutes worth of recording left. But Paul, thank you so much. I'm going to end the video and put the loop of the protests and everything on this, and I really appreciate you. The UK better appreciate you, because you know what you're doing, what you're standing up for, and I'm looking forward to seeing how your journey unfolds, and I really am proud of you.
Well, let me just before you finish, because as you know, I've got 10 hours left of my Facebook ban, which was 30 days, so I've missed everyone. It's been great on my Facebook though, because it was like I've not gone. They've all been talking and tagging me, so it's like I never went anywhere. So that was great to see. And what I'll say is that it's been great what everyone's done so far, and everyone that's joined our rallies and spreading the truth and trying to wake everybody up. But we haven't even just begun yet. So buckle up, get ready, join the next rally, bring people, because we've not even started. We've not even started our battle yet. They were literally just the warm-ups. It was a warm-up for me to get familiar with speaking to people. I've never spoken to people like that before in my life. It gave me an opportunity to see what works and what doesn't. It brought people along. It created some circles within this circle and brought people together. And so it needs to be bigger and better, and it's going to be. So I want everybody to be excited for it, but also realise, as you rightly said, it's not everyone's path to be the person that's leading the protests. It's not everyone's path to be doing these videos. As long as you're doing what you can, that's your path. And if everybody does that and engages with that, we'll be successful. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I applaud you, and thank you so much, Paul. I really appreciate this. And we're going to do one soon, very soon.